The next 7-star raid event has officially been revealed, and we're going up against another Hisuian starter. This time though, it's Hisuian TYPHLOSION, with a fire TERA type for some reason. Yeah, regardless, this one looks like it could be quite the challenge. So today, let's go over everything you need to know about Hisuian TYPHLOSION before he arrives in Pokémon Scarlet and Violet later this week. This one's gonna be pretty quick, so let's get to it. And there he is, Hisuian TYPHLOSION in the flesh. So let's take a look at this guy real quick. Hisuian TYPHLOSION is fire and ghost typing, but we know it will have a fire TERA type for this raid, meaning that it's pretty much just gonna be straight fire type with access to some ghost type moves. Which seems like this could be pretty easy, which usually means it's not. This one's obviously gonna be level 100 because we know all 7-star raids are level 100, and its stats are kinda interesting to look at. And that's because at level 100, Hisuian TYPHLOSION's stats are honestly not super impressive, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy to take down. Starting with its HP, it has an HP stat of 286 at level 100, which, while not terrible, isn't necessarily the highest HP stat we've ever seen. Its attack stats, however, tell a very different story. Its physical attack is 190, while its special attack is 262, which means that this guy is definitely going to be a special attacker, which definitely means that we're gonna wanna bring some special defense heavy Pokemon into this raid when we're going up against Hisuian TYPHLOSION. As far as defense stats go, however, Hisuian TYPHLOSION is pretty equal in both stats. Its physical defense is 171, and its special defense is 188, which means that while it might be advantageous for us to bring a physical attacker to this raid, doesn't necessarily mean that we couldn't bring somebody with some special attacking moves, since these two stats are honestly really close together. And of course, Hisuian TYPHLOSION's speed stat is 201, meaning that it's pretty fast, but it's definitely not the fastest Pokemon out there. You can honestly probably get something pretty easily that's gonna outspeed this guy. As for Hisuian TYPHLOSION's ability, it only has access to 2 abilities, Blaze and Frisk, and if the trend continues for 7-star raids, its ability will be Frisk, which allows it to check the item that we're holding. Doesn't really seem that useful, however, there is a worst case scenario for that. I could honestly see them breaking tradition on this and giving this guy Blaze instead, but Frisk is not something to overlook because it does have some kind of big implications for this. Movesets for 7-star raids are always really difficult to guess, mainly because we never know what Game Freak might be thinking or what crazy combo they might throw at us. However, with Hisuian TYPHLOSION, we know that it is basically going to spam fire-type moves. That's it. The only exception here being Infernal Parade. This is Hisuian TYPHLOSION's signature move, and it attacks with a myriad of fireballs. This also may leave the target with a burn, and the move's power is doubled if the target has a status condition. This one could honestly be pretty interesting because a lot of Hisuian TYPHLOSION's moves cause burn, so instead of this being 60 base power, there's a very good chance that after it burns us, this could be 120 base power, which is gonna do a ton of damage to us. As for fire type moves that Hisuian TYPHLOSION is likely to spam, Eruption is definitely up there along with Overheat because they are both very powerful fire type moves and they are both very powerful special attacking moves. Along with Lava Plume, which is 80 base power, 100% accuracy, and also has the chance to burn, which again plays into that Infernal Parade. But let's not forget some other fire type moves that Hisuian TYPHLOSION could likely have, such as Inferno, a 100 base power, 50 accuracy move that is guaranteed to leave you with a burn. We also have Flamethrower, the standard fire type attack, 90 base power, 100% accuracy that has the chance to burn. All of these moves, again, playing into that Infernal Parade, making this move even stronger. Now, as far as non-fire type moves that Hisuian TYPHLOSION could have that work off of its ghost typing, Hex is a very big possibility here. It is 65 base power, 100% accuracy, but it does massive damage to a target affected by status conditions. Again, leaning into that burn condition that is almost guaranteed for us to have during this raid. Hisuian TYPHLOSION also gets access to Nightshade, which does damage equal to the user's level, which means that we're pretty much guaranteed this is a 100 power, 100 base power, 100% accurate move, because both Hisuian TYPHLOSION and ourselves, all of our Pokemon, are going to be level 100. This one could honestly be quite a big problem. We also have the chance that Hisuian TYPHLOSION could be running Will-O-Wisp. Since it has a low physical defense stat, there's a good chance that it could have Will-O-Wisp to cut our physical attack in half, which if it does and it immediately burns us, could be very, very bad for this raid. But on top of that, Hisuian TYPHLOSION also has access to Shadow Ball, which has the chance to drop our special defense, and we know how these 7-star raids are. Odds are it's pretty much guaranteed to drop special defense at that point. 80 base power, 100 accuracy, this move could honestly be devastating. And as for its power-up move, it really only has one option, which means we're probably going to be dealing with a Calm Mind Pokemon here. Not only boosting its special attack, but its special defense as well, and if it gets off a couple of these, much like Hisuian Decidueye did with Sword Stance and Bulk Up, could make this a very, very difficult raid to deal with. But of course, there's always the possibility that they throw in some random move in there that nobody is possibly going to think about. However, I would say it's a safe bet to say that Hisuian TYPHLOSION is going to know Infernal Parade guaranteed, probably one other ghost move like either Hex or Shadow Ball, and is probably going to know one of these three moves, at least one of these three moves: Lava Plume, Overheat, and Eruption. So that's that would be my best guess as to what they would give Hisuian TYPHLOSION to make this raid as difficult as possible. But that's it. That is Hisuian TYPHLOSION in a nutshell. Fire and Ghost typing with a Fire Terra typing, level 100, not the greatest stats in the world, but still enough to be concerned about. Its ability is most likely Frisk, but I could see them giving it Blaze just to make those fire type moves even more ridiculous. And its moveset is likely going to consist of Infernal Parade, one other ghost type move such as Hex or Shadow Ball, and probably one or more of the long list of fire type moves it has, such as Lava Plume, Overheat, or Eruption. But that's it. That's Hisuian TYPHLOSION in a nutshell, and everything you need to know to start preparing yourself for this monster of a raid when it comes to Pokémon Scarlet and Violet later this week. I know this one seems like it could be pretty easy because you could just take a water type into it, but I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit more difficult than that, especially after Hisuian Decidueye. So let me know down in the comments below, how difficult do you think Hisuian TYPHLOSION is going to be, and what builds do you guys plan on taking into this one? Leave them down in the comments, because who knows, I may make a video on this one. Oh, I got a new Snorlax, by the way. Thanks to my locals Pokemon professor, Joe, for hooking me up with this guy. But that's all I have for you guys now. Snorlax and I say thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.